Before we get into the video, I wanted to apologize if the audio sounds different. The TLDR is my go-to mic broke, my new mic hasn't come in yet, so we're stuck with the old mic. But that's enough content creator excuses, let's get into the video. It stands before you, a towering humanoid with skin like red coals and just as hot. A pair of devil-like horns protrude from its brow, garbed in resplendent armor and wielding a blade wreathed in flame. This is an Efreet, a fire genie, its eyes like red-hot irons, burning through you with a look of pure contempt. We are fire. We embody the truth of elemental fire. Its passion, its drive, its power and its pride. We weaken the very multiverse, forcing the planes to bend to our wills as it suits us, as fire burns anything that does not bow to it. Is it any wonder that our great empire expands far and wide throughout the realms, even onto the prime material plane? It is disorderly, it is chaotic, it is weak. Filled with all manner of things that burn at the mere touch of our glorious hands, full of flesh that bubbles and blackens when we are near. Yet that flesh is our most prized resource. Living flesh, working flesh, bodies fit to be bought and sold at the slave markets within the city of brass. Oh, I know the flesh will fight back. They will fight with poor steel and the pathetic excuse of magic. But just as wood turns to ash when touched by flame, they will see it is their place in the universe to be our servants. We are the Ember Legion. We are the warriors of the great Sultan of all Efreet. We are the sword in the hand of the Lord of Flame. We will cut down those who stand in our way and burn their corpses to ash. As I seek to strike out some flesh of my own, I remember what I was taught. Take only those with value. Do not bother with the small, the weak and the sickly. We deal only in the best of slaves in the city of brass, the most capable, enduring, and obedient of workers. If I find any of my warriors come to me with a low-quality stock, I'll drown them in freezing water for wasting my time and, more importantly, costing us a profit. These mortals want us to grant their wishes, but they will only grant our wish for more servants. A good raid bringing good slaves, and good slaves bring good profit. But profit is not worth a damn thing unless you spend it. Like all noble fire genies, I share a great passion for hunting, and I spare no expense in my exploits. I do not slog through thick mud and mosquito-infested swamps and forests. Such things cannot exist within the plane of fire. So my hunting grounds are the great winding halls of my palace. I ride through them, resplendent on my golden chariot pulled by nightmares, their onyx hulls thundering against the stone, fire spurting from their equine nostrils. I drive these beasts, following the harrowing braying of my hunting dogs, a pair of hellhounds, fur black as charcoal, hellfire spilling from their mouths filled with sharp teeth. It only cost me a few hundred slaves in the markets with a very prideful devil, but they were worth it. They follow the scent, leading the hunt. My quarry, as always, is a group of human slaves. Their kind always makes for the most interesting of hunts. They run and hide, some even find weapons to fight back, but at the end, all of them fall to my flaming chariot and the teeth of my hounds. But when all the prey is slain, and the joy of the hunt gone, I find a new joy, dismounting from my chariot and visiting the trading hubs. The markets themselves a bustling metropolis of unfettered trade, I see human archmages bartering with fellow Efreet for powerful magic items. Devils trade slaves in exchange for battle-hardened soldiers, and hags barter for souls and esoteric secrets. I've come for slaves, a resource that my fellow genies are never short of. At any given moment, there are more than 800,000 slaves in this city. If you want something, and you can pay the price, you can find it here, in the heart of the city of brass. But if you're lucky, you may find one for free. We Efreet are secure in the knowledge that we are above others. As such, we have constructed 2 sets of laws to fit our society. One for the Efreet, and the other for the outsiders. A young wizard with ambitions of exploring the multiverse, in his haste, seeking to slake his curiosity, strikes up a conversation with me. But the law forbids outsiders to speak to a member of the noble Efreeti families unless spoken to first. His punishment? 100 lashings with a flaming whip. Or a few years of indentured servitude in my name. If he can survive that long. No amount of strength goes unchallenged. It is the very nature of strength to invite challenge, for when a flame burns brilliantly, it attracts those that wish to use it, and those who wish to see it snuffed out. Those that wish to challenge the might of the Efreeti can be found everywhere, for our glory burns the brightest in the multiverse. From within our own home, the elemental plane of fire, we face constant insurrection. The Aesir, squat beings of living brass and fire, rebelled against us long ago. My people commissioned them to construct the great city of brass. Our Sultan would have none but the best, and the Aesir were the best builders in the elemental planes. When their work was done, they quartered off a section of the city for themselves. But this was a city for the Efreet, not the laborers. We threw our yoke on them, but the Aesir never stopped rebelling. Eventually, the majority of their people escaped. I long to find one myself, and bring it before the Lord of Crimson Flame as a trophy. There are other elemental planes. The plane of water is anathema to us. We cannot exist there, and so too the beings of water cannot exist in the realm of fire. The plane of earth and air are different. The earth genies, the Tao, see a good relationship with us. They're loyal customers of our slave markets. The elemental plane of air, our other cosmic neighbor, is another story. They too are home to genies, beings of wind and lightning. The Jinn, they call themselves. Frequently they clash with the mighty Efreet. Too often do they make attacks against my glorious city of brass. I recall the first time I faced Jinn warrior in battle. My strength was superior, but she flew about at blinding speeds. I would conjure roaring flames to consume her, and she in turn summoned the winds to snuff out my fires. All the while, we exchanged blows in a dance of steel. Inevitably, fire prevailed over the wind, and she was routed back to the plane of air. We have won thousands of such victories against the Jinn, and we shall win thousands more. In the end, it does not matter who comes to us, whether you come to the city of brass as invaders or as tradesmen. You will find profit, or you will find your fiery death at the hands of the almighty Efreeti Empire.
The armies of the Grand Sultan are bolstered by legions of devils. His palace is warded by the spells from 1,000 arch-magi. His treasures are guarded by red dragons and fire elementals. No one has plundered the Efreeti's fabled vaults and lived to tell the tale. By the grace of 1,000 winds, you may be the first.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this type of Dungeons & Dragons content and like to see more, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. It's the best way to support the channel. And while you're here, why not give us a like and leave a comment down below about your favorite type of genie in Dungeons & Dragons. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!